This is Clayton Skinner. Hi, I'm Clayton Skinner. My name is Clayton Skinner. My name is Clayton Skinner. Welcome back to Beyond the Beat.
Welcome back to Beyond the Beat.
Welcome to Beyond the Beat.
Hello everyone, my name is Clayton Skinner and welcome back to Beyond the Beat. In this episode, we are going to go over the solo section for the song Beast in the Harlot. So this whole video is going to be laid out exactly the way the solo is. If you're looking at the PDF is the solo transcribed. And every little part of the PDF is obviously just little parts of it that have been broken down, or not necessarily broken down, but separated so that you can learn them individually and then put them all together. If you wanted to, I guess you could start from the top and work your way all the way to the bottom because it's all transcribed there, or everything that I do is transcribed. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be going over the opening pattern, which is just a simple eighth note double time feel. Now, if you're familiar with eighth note grooves, eighth note on the hi-hat of the ride, and you play your snare on 2 and 4. With a double time groove, you're going to be playing it on the ands. So it'll be like 1 and 2 and. Kind of similar to the way the quarter note grooves are laid out. Not to be mistaken with a quarter note groove, but they're played the same. Anyway, so that beat or whatever kind of builds it up. In the first line of the PDF, I have it actually written out there. I'm not going to demonstrate it, so we're just going to basically move on to the next one. So exercise 1 is technically where the solo begins. Basically what it is it's where you play a single stroke 16th note bass drum pattern, double bass. Ba, 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 ba. So it'll also coincide with the tempo from the last one. So the last one kind of gets you started, this one you jump into it. Now, it's not necessarily just a regular double bass pattern. It's not like you're playing a beat. You're going to be playing the snare and the cymbal of your choice. I chose a splash. You're going to be playing that in a very interesting little pattern. You're going to be playing the splash cymbal on 1, the end of 2, 4, the end of 1, and then 3. The snare drum, which will always be 2 16th notes ahead of wherever the splash is, except for on beat 1. It'll be played on 2, the end of 3, 1, and the end of 2. Yes. If you're looking at the PDF, you can see that. The whole thing ends with just a single stroke 16th note pattern, pa, 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 to kind of tie you in. And then, of course, you could loop it over and over and over again if you wanted to. So I'm going to start it slow, and then I'm going to do it fast for you. I divided exercise 1 and exercise 2. Technically, you could classify them as the same thing, because if you were to play exercise 1, you could immediately go to exercise 2 without repeating exercise 1. I suggest you repeat it just to get used to it, but then also do exercise 2. Exercise 2 is the same. The only difference is that at the end, rather than doing the single stroke pattern, you just match a cymbal, any cymbal you want, with the snare at the same time. 4. So you do the pattern, and then at the end of it, 4. So here it is. I'm not going to do it really slow. Just do it regular speed. And when you get comfortable, then you can combine 1 and 2 together. But again, you don't want to repeat 1. You just want to play 1 and then play 2. So number 3 is where things get crazy. I want to throw a disclaimer out. What I play in this isn't the same as what he did in the recorded version. I listened to it, I came up with my own interpretation, I transcribed it, and then later I found out that it's not the same. I'm going to teach you what I did because I like what I did better. Okay, so the whole thing can basically be divided up. If you were to take the 2-bar exercise, you can divide the thing up into 4 parts. Basically the first 3 parts are the same. It's just the first part done 3 times, and then the second half of the second bar is something completely different, and we'll go over that. So we're going to look at it for basically it's the first chunk. It all consists of 30-second notes, with like maybe the odd 16th in there. And we're doing quads, and we're doing 4s and 2s, I guess you could call it. So the pattern will go right, left, with the hands. 2 on the feet, right, left. 2 on whatever toms, 2 toms, right, left. Followed by 2 on the feet, boom, boom. Followed by 2 more on the snare. Followed by 2 bass drum hits, boom, boom. So that will be basically the first 2 beats of bar number 1. Now that pattern then repeats, and then repeats again for the first half of the second bar. So I suggest that you just go over the pattern slowly. I'll give you a demonstration. Here is the pattern slowly. So again, this is just 1/3 or 1/4, I guess you could say, whatever, I don't know. Don't get confused with that. It's just the one section that's highlighted in the PDF, played over and over again, slowly. So since you now have it, you can play it individually, playing it, stopping, restarting again. Try to loop it. The whole thing loops pretty simply. It's just the whole, like the chunk that we just went over is 2 beats, quarter note beats. And then if you loop it, I'm going to speed it up a little bit, and then I'm going to loop it. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to ignore the second half of the second bar, and I'm just going to keep repeating the pattern that's highlighted on exercise 3. So here it is, just repeated. Now, for the second half of the second bar of exercise 3, we have a quad pattern played as sextuplets. Now, I have a whole video explaining that. And what it is by playing sextuplets in the quad fashion, so that's 2 at the hands, 2 at the feet, 2 at the hands, 2 at the feet, you create, if you're playing a whole bar, you create a 6/4 feel, a counter rhythm. Now, since we're only going to be playing it for half of the bar, it creates a 3/2. So after doing the 30-second notes, the second half of the second bar then changes into sextuplets as opposed to 30-second notes, so you get that 3/2 feel. So here is, I'm not going to really give a demonstration on the 3/2 because I have a video for that, but I'm going to now play the whole exercise 3, and I want you to listen, count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So give that a try, or check my demonstration and then try it. Okay, so number 4. From number 4 on, or actually I should say the second half of the second bar of exercise 3, it's basically turns, for the most part, it turns into sextuplets for the rest of the way. So the last 2 beats, the last 2 bass drum hits on exercise 3 kind of build into a sextuplet pattern that starts with the cymbal, And then you have 3 hits on the snare. So if you're playing right-handed, right, you go right on the cymbal, left, right, left. So the whole thing kind of equals 4. 1 on the cymbal, 3 on the snare. And then you follow that with a right-left with your bass drum. That creates another 4 and 2 kind of pattern with a sextuplet. To make it simpler, you can forego the cymbal and just play all 4 on the snare doing that. I have a video for that, I guess, for the 4 and 2. So that'll give you a demonstration. I'm not going to necessarily break that down for you. Then after you've done that, it happens 4 times in that bar. Which, by the way, can be played on any cymbal. I'm pretty sure in the song he plays it on his open hi-hat. But to make, like, for dramatic purposes or to make it look cool, I chose different cymbal every time I hit a cymbal. You can do whatever you want. After that bar, you continue with the sextuplets and you play a sextuplet pattern where you play 6 on the snare, which is the full beat, followed by 2 on the bass drum, 2 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum, which is the second beat, and then close it out with sextuplets all the way around until you hit the cymbal. So I'll give you a demonstration of that. If you're not familiar with sextuplets, check out sextuplets and demo. Now, exercise 5 is technically very, very, very long. After the sextuplet section that we did in the last exercise, he does a single stroke 16th note bass drum, double bass drum pattern, and he holds it. He doesn't do anything else. He just holds it. I took the time to flex, kind of show off a little bit. That double bass pattern plays for 7 bars, and then it ends with what you can see is the second bar of exercise 5. So the first bar of exercise 5 can be repeated 7 times. Don't forget to flex, have some fun with it. And then do the sextuplet pattern that takes place on number 5. Sextuplet pattern will go like this. It'll go 4, 2, 4, 2, and then you'll do the sextuplets to finish it up. So the whole thing is just sextuplets. And again, it's 2s and 4s. That seems to be the theme of this. So, right on. So the closing section is actually a quarter note groove. The opening pattern, or the opening section, was an 8th note pattern played like a quarter note groove. 1, and 2, and. This one actually is quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's played in what you would refer to as a halftime feel to the first one. So if you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you would switch to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got to make sure that whatever you have the metronome set to, that you have this metronome set to the same thing. If you listen to the song, you'll hear it. Anyway, so once again, just want to point out that this is my interpretation of it. A lot of the stuff that we did here was just the way that I played it, the way that I transcribed it, and then the way that I teach you. Basically, I had a few things that I wanted to go over, and a few things that I wanted to promote, so I did it my way. So, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concern, you can get a hold of me through the contact section at claytonskinner.com. You can get a hold of me right here on YouTube. You can get a hold of me on Twitter or Facebook, twitter.com/ClaytonSkinner, and facebook.com/ClaytonSkinner.com. So, See you next time.